Shalom, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are here at the Romemu Center, and you're holding in your hands our Siddur, our prayer, our compilation of yearnings and longings for Shabbat. And we will be on page 6. Ya ya dai dai ya dai ya da dai dai ya dai ya dai ya dai ya dai ya dai lai ya dai ya dai dai ya da dai 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 dai. Shalom, peace. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, come in peace, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bless us, bless us. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yada dai dai yada yada dai 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 dai. So between you and me, the next time you see anybody coming in, we are saying Shalom Aleichem, right, to the angels. So anyone who comes in from here on, they are our angels. They are our companions. They are our guardians to the right, to the left, above and below. Shabbat Shalom, and we welcome you to Romemu here at the Romemu Center, in this neighborhood, right beside amazing Bloomingdale Park. Right, a very accessible park for all grown-ups and young people, all. But also we spread and we embrace and bring into our circle those of us who are in our Zumagog, our synagogue way out in all places. So holding each other, and remember what we said the next time we see someone entering our space, they are the ones whom we welcomed. Singing, and we start all over again. We are on page 12, Shiru Ladonai, this warm-up of song, of poetry. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato, Sapru b'goyim kevodo, Bechol ha'amim niflotav, Gadol Adonai, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חידו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בל תימון. ידים נמים במישרים, ישמחו שמיים ותרגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלואו, יעלוש שדתו אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייה לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל בצדק, יאמין באמונתו, יאללה 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 Opening up all images of the divine, Mizmor LeDavid. We're on page 20. If you're able to rise, we rise in all the ways we're able to rise. Mizmor LeDavid, Abul Adonai b'nei Eli. Abul Adonai, kavod ba'oz. Abul Adonai, kevod shemo yishlach. Abul Adonai, b'hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai, al hamayim, el hakavod yirim. Adonai, al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai, ba'koach. Ay, ay, ay. Kol Adonai behadar. Kol Adonai shober arazim. Vayeshaber Adonai et arzei הלבנון. וירקידם כמו עגל. לבנון בזריון. כמו בן ראם. איי איי איי. כל אדוני חוצב לעבודש. כל אדוני יחיל מדבר. יחיל אדוני מבהל בקדש. כל אדוני יכול לעלות. ויחשוף ובהיכלו כולו. כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב וישב. אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. He changed. די 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 page 22 and page 21. Please, with the strength of your loving hands, untie the knot inside. Please, with the strength of your loving hands, untie the knot inside. Please, with the strength of your loving hands, untie the knot inside. Please, with the strength of your loving hands, untie the knot inside. Move your eyes towards page 22, the second to the last paragraph. There's a one line at the bottom, and then there's this 3 lines on top. Yadai, lai yadai, lai yadai, 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 lai yadai. Lai yadai, yadai, yadai. Now move your eyes up. Shabbatenu kabel. Hear our prayer. Ushamat akatenu. Yodea ta'alumot. Hear our cry, you who know our most secret of things. Shabbatenu kabel, ushma ta'akatenu, yodea ta'alumot. You who know our secret things. Shabbatenu kabel, ushma ta'akatenu, yodea ta'alumot. So let us hear our cries from you as Jerry weaves us with music. Say and sing, Shabbatenu kabel, your melody. Let me hear it. Let us weave your words. Not my words, but your words. Shabbatenu kabel. More from this side. Shabbatenu kabel. Let's weave it. Let's weave it. We're putting Shabbatenu kabel here and receive our prayer. All our desires for that longing to be heard. Shabbatenu kabel. Let me hear you. Shabbatenu kabel. Shabbatenu kabel. Not in rhythm, not in rhythm. Just throw it into the air. Shabbatenu kabel. Receive our prayer. Ushema tza'akatenu. Hear this cry. Ushema tza'akatenu. Let me hear you. Ushema tza'akatenu. Ushema tza'akatenu. All those voices, those words that get stuck in the throat. Tza'akatenu, tza'akatenu, yodea ta'alumot. Now we are ready. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. וכבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. When you're ready to be greeted, when you're ready to receive, we say, come, beloved, let us greet Shabbat together. So Shabbat used to be outside, like outside, like on the outskirts of the city. So it said that the rabbis would go and their students and teachers' students, they're all mixed up. They would go to the outskirts of the city dressed in white to meet the changing of the day into dusk, into twilight, dressed in white. And then civilization started to creep in, so the people will go outside the building, right? Outside whatever the sanctuary is, and stand out there by the door on the street to welcome Shabbat. And then civilization kept creeping it even more, and now we are inside a sanctuary. Holy ground is holy space. And the remnant of that would be when we come to the last paragraph, the last stanza of Lecha Dodi, this prayer, we will stand up and face the door, right? And remember our secret earlier? Whoever comes in, right? We know whoever comes in after are the angels. Lecha Dodi is on page 24. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור בזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. בראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך ההפכה. רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, על יד בן ישי בית הלך לי, קורבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת קבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נקרב. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תחלמי, מה תשכחי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. והיו למשי ששי ברחבו כל מבלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס חתן על קלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל יפרוצי, ואת אדוני תעריצי. על ידי שתן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We turn to face our portal. בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, שבת המלכה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. די 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 and we sit and we just settle. And I'd like to welcome Rabbi Diane, call her Esses, my colleague, to welcome us with the practical and also with the mystical.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat is a time of peace, a time of rest, a time of wholeness, of shleimut and shalom. But sometimes it's really hard to enter Shabbat, really fully with your whole being. I've heard from so many people recently that they're walking around with so much fear. Internal things about the world. So how do we leave that behind and fully enter? So I want to invite you for a moment, if you're willing, to close your eyes and begin to gently approach your fears. Now, your fears is kind of general, so let's take it in categories. Starting with work. Anything you're particularly nervous about, anxious about at this moment. Approach that fear and with a gentle hand say, okay, you can kind of step away until after Shabbat, and I'll take care of you then. But until that time, I want and need some peace. Think about fears about money. And again, approach gently with compassion. Say, for the next 24 hours, I need to rest. You can rest. I'll see you after Shabbat. And any fears in the arena of relationships. Something or someone who's making you really anxious. Again, step over to that fear and say, it can wait. It can wait until after Shabbat. Any other random fears that are kind of flying around your mind and bothering you, ask them to just step away and give you space. And with more space, step into the expanse, the deep realm of rest, of peace, of wholeness, of shalom and shleimut, of Shabbat. Welcome to Shabbat. Now I'd like to invite Roberta to give us a poem, and after that we will welcome everybody in the room.
Shabbat Shalom. It's really a message that came as I've been wandering through Seneca Village almost every day this week. And I think it relates to Pasha Balak, which for me is about finding allies in surprising places. A peacemaking message in Parshat Balak. Why are you beating me? Asked the she-ass, the female donkey. Haven't I served you loyally and earned your trust after all these years? You have rode my back as Pharaoh rode yours when you were enslaved in Egypt. And yet you don't trust that I see the world for what it is, more than you see. I have borne and I have sacrificed my children to you, and now they work for you. Surely you can see that your freedom and well-being are completely bound up with mine. I have not polluted waters nor the earth. I have not propagated to take more than my fair share. I have borne you on my back and guided you. When you hear me and hear my cries, as if I were your mother, sister, father, brother, only when the prophet hears my voice do curses turn to blessings.
turning the curse of life, turning the curse into blessings. We say, heal us from the ways we've been reshaped. Ana elna refana la necharot la noam tiva. Ana elna refana la beharot la noam zivach. Heal us, oh heal us, heal us. Especially those who this week have lost a significant part of their family that is chosen, family that is ordained, family of affinity, beloveds, and those who have challenged us. We welcome them into our prayer space. And as we welcome,
Welcome, everybody. Again, Shabbat Shalom. Love to hear who's new in the room. If you're willing to identify yourselves and introduce yourselves and say where you're from. And Jeffrey, our trusty executive director, has a microphone for you.
I was in a meditative state there. I was like, hi everyone, my name is Anand. I'm here with my wife Pavi. She's going to introduce herself. We just moved here from Austin. It's been about 8 months. We have great Jewish friends that have inspired us to come here today. We've enjoyed what we spent an evening with them in Seattle probably a year back. And they introduced us to this concept of Shabbat Shalom. And we both had like everybody, a busy week. And we thought we wanted to welcome the evening and, detoxify for 24 hours. And this has been a great experience. So thank you for welcoming us.
Nice. Welcome, welcome.
Same thing. Thank you for welcoming us. We haven't experienced this in a group setting, so it's really, really nice. And we already feel at peace and ready for our day of rest. Thank you. My name is Pavi.
Beautiful,
Welcome.
beautiful. Welcome.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and we have been hearing about this service at Romemu for a number of years. We're from Maryland, and we are not usually off on Shabbat, and we were off on Shabbat, so we came to New York from Maryland to go to Romemu.
Wow.
are you rabbis?
Off. Any other newcomers?
Hi, my name is Dana. I don't like public speaking, but I'm a New Yorker. I'm an artist. I'm getting my MFA at Hunter College, and I always wanted to come here, so excited to be here.
Welcome, Dana. Welcome. Anyone else in the room, first time or the first time since the pandemic? Hi.
Hi, my name is Carolina, and I'm originally from Colombia, but Colombia Angelina from Los Angeles also. But I'm here, although I'm going back to Los Angeles because I had a very beautiful experience while staying at this hostel, the high hostel, and then I rang the bells and I thought it was like a regular service, Catholic service, whatever, Christian, I don't know. But anyway, so I went to that synagogue, the red one over here across the street, and I had the most, oh my God, I fell in love with the service. I really, it was a very spiritual experience, and I got a good friends from there. So I decided that I wanted to come visit before I go back to Los Angeles, And yeah. And then I got one of those, and I didn't even know what it meant, right? So I put them up on my, like, I had got this vision board, right, my vision board, and I got 2 of those, and I, like, set them on it. And then I realized what it was, the seed of life. So I was like, okay, there's more to learn here. So, yeah.
Welcome. Shabbat
Wonderful,
shalom,
welcome,
everyone.
welcome.
Many people have come to Romemu and they have not said, I've come here for the first time, but that's okay if we do that. But sometimes there's a first time. And so all the warm up, we call it Kabbalat Shabbat, right? Like we're receiving, right? We said, Shabbatenu, Kabel, right? Our prayers, receive them. So they have been received. And remember again, when anyone walks through that door, what are we going to think about? So we come to the part of our service, which is the actual Ma'ariv prayer, the evening service, and we welcome you. And at some point, we will stand. So we're on page 31, 32. So as we welcome each other, and we are welcomed by each other, and we have these secret pacts we have with each other to see the one who comes in through the door as the messenger that they are. And we say, blessed be all. Da-da, da-da-da, Adonai HaMevorach. We say together, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. And saying, blessed be, we get to settle down and to sit in this holy circle. Weaving are we being woven into the weaver of being. We're on page 34. Merukhat Shekhinah Eloteinu Ruach HaOlam Asher Bidvara Mariva Aravim Bechokma Forachat Sheharim Vitvuna Meshana Itim. As the day is passing, bringing in the twilight, ומעבר היום מביא לילה, ומבדילה בין יום ובין לילה. יתבעות שמה, אלא חיה וקיימת, תמיד תמלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Blessed be you, ברוכת שכינה מרהיבה ערבים. Welcome and love and peace woven one into the other. We say, Ahavat Olam, love is always. And the alwaysness is tied to the world. Imagine when we live in a world where we think the earth can finish at a certain point, that the water will be finished at a certain point. To the ancients, to our ancestors, the world and the waters and the skies never had a beginning and never had an end. It always was. So we say, Ahavat Olam. We're on page 36. 36 and 35, some Hebrew and then some English. Ahavat olam beit Israel amecha, ahavta Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim otanu limadeta. Now English. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an ending love, by an ending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us, even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love, by unending love.
Between love and the unity of the Shema is a deep listening. So as we cover our eyes and recite the Shema, move into the listening that takes us beyond distinction and division. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Yehavta et Adonai Elohecha.
We're on page 40.
B'chol lavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvelechtecha v'derech, uv'shachbacha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha, u'kpavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'hisharecha. Say the next passage on page 41. And 40, 42, 43, 44 to yourselves. Tzitzit. Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet.
אמת ויציב ונכון וקיים וישר. From the call to love, love as a verb. This call to love that we pass on to our children and those who look upon us as elders, as guides. To the reminders that at the end of our prayer shawls are these fringes as reminders of the ways we are called. And if this prayer shawl is to be blown away, what I have still at the ends of my being are my fingers and all the ways we are reminded of I could be as a Jew, as a God wrestler. Into the journey, we say, be in awe. To continue to be in awe, we say, Mi chamocha, who is like you? We are on page 47. We are in awe with our ancestors, Moshe and Miriam. The second paragraph from the top. Moshe uMiriam uBnei Yisrael lecha anu shira besimcha rabah ve'amru chulam mi chamocha bailim Adonai mi kamocha nedar bakodesh נורא תהילות אוסף פלא מלכותך ראו בניך בוכי הים לפני משה ומרים זה אלי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד בני אמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. On 49 and 50, Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu, V'amedenu Malkeinu L'chaim, V'pros Aleinu, Shuchat Shlomecha. Imagine that you are lying down on this earth, and above us is spread the sukkah, the shelter of your feet. Towards the bottom, Ufros Aleinu Shuchat Shlomecha. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל ימו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. So the people that lie and receive this bounty and the sky of blessings, we rise in all the ways we're able to rise. Bishamru. We are on page 52 and 51. Bishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. השמיים והארץ וביום השביעי Shabbat vayinafash. And an Aramaic pause. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabban. V'almadri v'achirotei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם עלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה. בריחו לעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן ועלמה, ואמרו Amen. And that which connects us to the temple of old, when that temple was no longer. We stand in the Amidah, the standing prayer, from page 55 on to the next few pages, the prayers of your heart in silence. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. We're on page 72. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום, make peace במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. ועל כל ישראל, with all our people Israel, ועל כל יושבי תבל, and all who dwell on this earth. ואמרו,
ואמרו,
ואמרו, Are we ready to sit and receive some Torah? I think so.
Sometimes a memory stays in my head and I don't really know why, like a little anecdote or I remember a conversation. And this anecdote kept coming up this week as I was studying the Parsha, the portion of this week, Balak. So I was on the M104 bus. It's a bus that goes, from downtown to uptown, or at least I was on the bus going north. And I was sitting near two guys. It was more than 20 years ago. And so what we used to do is listen to conversations instead of listen to our phones. And these two guys, we were talking, they were in an interesting conversation, and suddenly the bus stops, and the driver closes up the front and opens the middle doors because a person who was handicapped, who's in a wheelchair, had to get on the bus. So one of the guys said, wow, the MTA is really not what it used to be. Like, they're really falling down on the job. And I'm looking at them like thinking, oh my God, the bus is stopping for a handicapped person, and you think the MTA is falling down on the job? So of course I was full of judgment, and they were full of judgment as well. And it reminds me of this kind of Kabbalistic concept. So there are two states of consciousness. One is mochin dekatnut, kind of restricted, narrowed consciousness, and one is mochin degadlut, expanded consciousness. So of course, they were in restricted consciousness, and I was in expanded consciousness. It turns out I wasn't, because I was being all judgy. So this Parsha, Parshat Balak, is all about restricted and expanded consciousness. And I think it could teach us a lot about how we navigate our lives. In it, there's a God who really tries to shift people from narrow consciousness to more expanded consciousness. So the Parsha opens up with the king of one of the arch enemies of the Israelites, whose name was Balak, king of the Moabites. And he sees the Israelites, and they're covering the earth, or at least in his eyes they are. And he's absolutely terrified. And he wants to figure out, how can he defeat them? So he calls upon this guy, Bilam. And Bilam is a kind of prophet at large, not an Israelite prophet, just a prophet. In fact, there's archaeological remains that refer to him and like use his name, so he seems to have been well known in the ancient Near East. So Balak feels existentially triggered or existentially threatened, and maybe what we call triggered at this point. And he sends lots of dignitaries, lots of people to Bilam to say, I really want you to curse this people, and if you do, I'm going to reward you. So Bilam says, let me talk to my God here, and talks to Yud-He Vav-He, which is the name of the Israelite God. And God says, no, you can't curse the Israelites because they are fundamentally blessed. You can't curse a people that is essentially and fundamentally blessed. So Balak didn't give up, sent more dignitaries, more honorable dignitaries, and promised more rewards. And Bilam goes back to, he says to the dignitaries, stay here the night and let me talk to these guys. Let me talk to my God. And you would think that Bilam would say, no, I already spoke to God. God said no. But Bilam says, let me talk to God again. So like, what's going on here? It's almost like a persistent child who doesn't want to live with, the word no. So Bilam asks God again, and this time God does say yes, very strangely, very mysteriously. And it reminds me perhaps of a child who asks, and the parent knows the thing is not a good idea, but the parent finally says yes, so the child can discover what the consequences are. And Bilam did, and so here's what happened. Bilam goes on his trusty donkey one morning and is on the way to curse the Israelites. And then suddenly, the donkey stops. Or actually, no, the donkey first strays from the path to a field. And Bilam is furious and starts to hit her. And so what's happening is the donkey, ironically enough, sees an angel of God in the way that Bilam, the seer, doesn't see. So we've got a seer who doesn't see and a donkey who does see an angel of God. Very strange. And then again, the angel of God kind of traps the donkey and Bilam. And this time in a very narrow place, in a vineyard between fences, and the donkey presses Bilam against a fence and he kind of hurts his foot, and he's furious and he keeps hitting the donkey. And then finally, the angel of God blocks the donkey entirely, and the donkey can't even move forward, can't even go from side to side. The donkey drops to the ground, and Bilam just beats and beats that poor donkey, right? So here's what happened. God finally opens the eyes of Bilam, and Bilam sees the angel of God. And when God opens the eyes of Bilam, God also opens the mouth of the donkey. And here's their conversation. She says to Bilam, "Me asiti lecha ki hikitani ze shalosh regalim." What have I done to you that you have struck me on these 3 occasions? So she's, rightly kind of, outraged about how Bilam's treating this donkey. And Bilam, furious with the donkey, responded, "You have thwarted me, steering me off my path. I would have killed you if I could." And the donkey responded wisely, and this is what Roberta referred to in her poem today, teaching this emotionally blind seer. She says, "Am I not your she-ass? Halo anochi atoncha, upon whom you have ridden from your past until this day. Asher rachavta alai me'odcha ad hayom hazeh." Had I ever been accustomed to do this, to do thus to you? Hahasken hiskanti la'asot lachako. And he said, "No, lo." Okay, so now Bilam has moved from restricted consciousness to a bit more of expanded consciousness, understanding what he's done to his donkey, but he's not really quite there yet because Balak hasn't given up, right? Balak still wants Bilam to curse the Israelites. So Balak builds seven altars. Actually, I'm sorry, before we get there, I just want us to think about this for a minute, for ourselves. Life thwarts us in big and small ways, right? Buses are delayed, trains don't come on time, doctors keep us waiting, we get stuck in traffic jams, and these are just the small potatoes. Of course, life throws us some big curveballs as well. Illness, loss, mental illness, all kinds of suffering. But it's not only the world who thwarts us, or that thwarts us. Sometimes we actually thwart ourselves. This week I was really stuck on something. I kept avoiding it and avoiding it and avoiding it, and I didn't really know what was in my way. And in the process, I was beating myself up mercilessly. Like, why can't I do this stupid thing? Why can't I just do it, right? Kind of beating myself up the way Bilam beat his donkey. And then, because of studying this parsha, I wondered to myself, maybe I'm stuck for a reason. Maybe there's something in the way. Maybe there's something really dangerous out there. Or maybe there's an angel who wants to give me a message. And if we approach ourselves in this way, right, in this sort of compassionate, curious way, we might actually move out of our stuckness. Now, I have to confess, no easy answers came to me. I'm still not sure. But the approach felt so much more gentle and accepting and kind of allowed me to get a little bit unstuck. So when you're stuck, or you think someone or something is thwarting you, you might begin to wonder about what or who is in your way and what message they have for you, as opposed to dealing with others by force or by striking. And that's the beginning of moving from restricted consciousness to expansive consciousness, to wondering, to asking, to perhaps listening to angels. And I'm wondering if this wisdom has bigger implications for us right now. Tomorrow night is the 17th of Tammuz. We're moving to a fast day on Sunday. It's a one-day fast day. And it begins 3 weeks of a communal grieving, right? Grieving for, first, the breach of Jerusalem's walls, and then ultimately the destruction of the first temple and the second temple, and almost any other calamity you can think of in Jewish history. And this period of time is considered Bein HaMitzarim, between the straits. We're on a narrow path. Like Bilam and his donkey, during these weeks, we were people with a restricted consciousness, suffering from a history of cumulative and collective trauma, destruction, and mass violence. And the beginning of this period, as I said, started with the breach of Jerusalem's walls. Of course, on January 6, 2021, we ourselves witnessed the breach of the Capitol, our people's house, in our very own time. History repeats itself in very strange ways. We are witness to so many breaches of what is sacred in these times. What can keep us steady as we navigate our way on this narrow path? What can help us move from fear and restricted consciousness to more expanded consciousness? So Bilam blesses the people 7 times. But for the first 6 times, he's still negotiating with Balak. He's still almost pretending that Balak is going to get what he wants. Finally, for the 7th time, Bil'am faces the wilderness instead of Balak. And it says, Vaya'ar Bil'am ki tov, and Bil'am saw that it was good. Be'enei Adonai levarecha Israel, in the eyes of God to bless Israel. So Bil'am saw that it was good. This echoes, right, God's creation of the world and God seeing that it was good. Right? So Bil'am finally became the prophet and seer that he was, right? Seeing with God's eyes that it is good. So perhaps with everything, even with everything, we can see that it is good, that we are alive, that we are on this earth, that creation is always renewing itself. And here is Balaam's blessing. And interestingly enough, it made it into our liturgy, and we recite it every single morning. It goes like this. How goodly are your tents, O Yaakov, your dwellings, O Israel. Ma tovu, O halecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. So Bil'am gives up on manipulations. He gives up on bending the world to his will. He gives in to Adonai. It's a moment of surrender to Yud-He Vav-He, surrenders to the state of essential blessing, which, to quote my friend Rabbi Sharon Cohn-Anisweld, says it's about seeing the essential, wondrous goodness before us, lifting it up and giving it language, and putting ourselves in the breach to protect it. So again, let us bless. Let us sing this blessing along with Bil'am. Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu, o halecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael.
And we say it is indeed upon us to be the creators and the co-creators of this holy ground. And we rise for Aleinu. We are on page 78. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, ששם חלקנו עמהם וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום. And the big bold letters, בהשבותה אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בהשבותה Havaya Hi HaElohim B'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Bayom hahu Yihyeh Adonai echad U'shemo 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 echad. And we settle for a while, and then those who are in mourning, please remain standing. Please remain standing and please share the names of your loved ones whom you're remembering aloud.
My father,
William Emerson Hill, may Dr. William Emerson Hill, may his memory be for a blessing. Yes. Sophie Goldman, may her memory be for a blessing. Yes. Yes, Ed. Thank you. Yes, please. May his memory be for a blessing. Chaya bat Olga Villion. Yes, and please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Remembering Lester Siegel, and if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, please join us. And also our names, the names that our friends, our family, our beloveds on Zoom. Rabbi Diane, could you please read them? Yeah.
Elaine Glenda Bloom.
No, just the first page. Okay.
Alan Dumaine.
Yes. As his yard site, yes.
Elaine Glenda Bloom, Gavin Sword, Myrna Shore, Aronson, Sydney Soap.
Thank you. And all the names of our people, we hold them in our hearts and we say our Mourner's Kaddish. We're on page 116. Yes, please say your names, please.
My grandmother, name is Karen.
Thank you. May her memory be for a blessing. Yitgadal b'yitkadash shemei rabba. Be'alma divra chirutei b'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'b'yameichon u'b'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala b'zman kariv v'imru Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olalmei almaya יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה לאלה מן כל ברכתה בשירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה בחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שתנחמו מן השמיים. May you find comfort in our people, comfort in this showing up for each other and saying Mourner's Kaddish. And we say into our cup of blessings. Where is our cup of blessings? Behind me. That we can identify where our cup of blessings are. So into this cup of blessings, my partner and beloved friend and partner, Jerome Corman, thank you. Holding me for over how many years now? Over 30 years, too many, and good years. Farnoosh, for giving us the magic of the crispness of the heartbeat that is the percussion instruments, and into this cup of blessing, hiding back there. Jeff Kahn, into this cup of blessings, all of those who are on Zoom who have been with us. How many years now? Is it 2 years and counting? And more. And those of us who started reaching Romemu from afar, from when it was live stream, remember that? Live stream, no boxes. We couldn't see each other. Thank you for being with us into this cup of blessing. There will be announcements later, but not right now. Into this cup of blessing, Kiddush is on page 88. If you help us with your voices on page 88. Vayechulu Hashamayim. Please rise with us. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. I take a sip for us. Rabbi Diane, do you have some announcements?
The Shabbat services are tomorrow morning. Open book at 8:45.
Come here, come here.
So tomorrow is still Shabbat, and accordingly, we are having a partial class at 8:45 here and on Zoom. Actually, I think it's in the basement, right? Is that right, Jeff? He's not answering.
Jeff.
All the way downstairs. And then services at 10, and those are the announcements. Tal.
Ciao. No,
We
you
can't
gotta-
hear you.
You gotta come here. Vamos.
Yeah.
Yalla, yalla.
So just wanted to extend an invite. The Social Action Committee is doing a summer learning series about Rikers Island and what is going on there, why people are dying on, while being held on there. It's also going to include opportunities for volunteering and probably visiting Rikers Island in order to ensure that the Jewish and those who identify as Jewish inmates are allowed to receive their opportunity to pray and have services.
So how will they find out how to access?
Oh, yes, email me. It's tal.siegel@gmail.com.
And just go on our website and you will
It will be
find
there.
social action and
Yeah.
you will find Tal.
And first session is Wednesday, 7:30. Just a presentation all about Rikers by the Freedom Agenda, who's running the campaign to close Rikers. Thank you.
Thank you. And let's try page 84. Okay, page 84. Yigdal Elohim Chai. Hardly sung here, but let's go for it. ויגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא באין עת על מציאותו, אחד באין יחיד כייחודו, לעילם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצה, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמואל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר, דעתו לעולם מן זולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. דומה לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רע כרישתו, ישלח לחץ ימים משיחנו, לפדות מחכי קץ ישועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיין שם תהילתו. Baruch Adei Shem, Ad Shem Tehilato. And all the blessings of this holy name, the name that pulses in you, and the next person is gonna come through the door. Baruch Adei Ad Shem Tehilato.